Good morning and welcome to the regular meeting of City Council on Tuesday, April 15th, 2025. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland, Mr. Coghill, Ms. Gross,
Here.
Mr. Mosley,
Here.
Mrs. Cale Smith, Mrs. Strasburger, Mrs. Warwick,
Here.
Mr. Wilson,
Here.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Here.
5 members present.
Thank you very much. May we first have a motion to waive the rules of council?
Motion to waive the rules?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Rules have been waived. Thank you very much. It was 10:31. Now please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Our next order of business is going to be proclamations, and I want to start with take your father today to school. So if all those here for that proclamation, please come forward. Mr. Brentley, our school board directors, if our mayor would also come forward. Mark, you want to come up?
Yes, sir.
You haven't ordered which?
Yes, sir. I can knock it through in 20 minutes. That's okay. 15.
So before turning it over to Mr. Brentley, I just want to thank him because when did you start this?
1999, we're in our 27th year.
So this is now our 27th year of doing this. We've done this every year that I've been on council, and it really is a great initiative. And I want to thank Mr. Brentley for starting this many, many years ago. I want to thank the school board directors for continuing it, and I definitely want to thank all the brothers who have been supportive over the years. With that, I want to turn it over to Mr. Brentley, and then I would also ask the mayor to give remarks.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, members of council. Once again, we are always excited. If I can take a quick moment just to tell you, this is a kickoff. We do this 30 days before the actual date. So in May, somebody give me the date, is it 17th, 20th? 16th. May 16th is the day where we call Take a Father to School Day. We ask men across the city to get up, get out, take a personal day, vacation day, whatever, and go into any of the Pittsburgh public schools. They have special activities designed to attract men. Okay, what I always tell the principals and administrators when I was on the board is, I will get the men in your building, you find a way to keep them. And they've been very, very successful. Today's date is a day, it's a kickoff, because I think it's important that our children who are watching, that our mothers who are watching, and our sisters and our aunts, that they see men, black men, young men, old men, white men, all of us, stand and publicly show and say our commitment to children. Kids are under attack today, okay? But we need to stand and show that we are together. So this is what this day is about. Secondly, my hat that I'm wearing, and please forgive me because I normally remove it, but I have to represent. 2 years ago, one of the activities that happened at Martin Luther King School, the principal, under the leadership of Dr. Gordon, had a panel where majority of the men in the audience, and we were able to talk. And actually, the Honorable Mayor was part of that panel, and I was part of the panel. At the end, as a parting gift, she gave me the hat that said #1 Dad, and I said, sister, I'm gonna represent. So I am here to represent it. So, but thank you very much. But first of all, we're gonna start off with my board director, Mr. Dwayne Barker, and Dwayne Barker is gonna take a moment to just kind of identify some folks, some of his colleagues, and then we're gonna go into a few more things.
Good morning. I'm gonna try to go really quick. So we have a couple of organizations that we want to most definitely give it a shout out to. So the Northside Youth Athletic Association, Reach, Reading is Fundamental, Cuts for College, the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Father Collaborative Council, Promise Basketball Camp, BPEP, 100 Black Men of Southwestern Pennsylvania, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, New Vision, BAM, Youth Guidance, One Nation Mentoring, the Way Organization, Daddy's Hands, and we got to give a shout out to our amazing, beautiful AKA sisters that's over there representing. Thank y'all, ladies. Shout out to PPS and early childhood folk that are here. So thank you all for staff. We have our president for PPS board, Jane Walker is here. And we also have our vice, one of our vice presidents. We have a huge shout out to Director Talaferro for coming out and representing as well. And shout out to the mayor, of course. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. And every single councilman and councilwoman that stands with us on this day. We totally appreciate y'all opening y'all doors for us. And last but not least, I would like to give a shout out to Propel Charter School for coming out and representing as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Barker. We did not have on my quick agenda an opportunity, but I cannot move on without the Honorable President of the School Board. Jane, would you just say words, please? And just cannot go without hollering at you.
Thank you, Mr. Brentley. This is a really important season for Pittsburgh Public Schools with lots of hard work and decisions to be made, but a reminder that men show up. When men are called, men show up. And so I'm appreciative of the men in this room and the men around this district who, even if they can't show up every day for every parent-teacher conference, we know that they are in the lives of our children and we are integral for the success. So on behalf of the Board of Directors of Pittsburgh Public Schools, thank you, President Lavelle. Thank you, Mr. Brentley. Thank you, Mayor Gainey, and best wishes on the rest of this season.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much, and we appreciate all of the in-kind service over the years. Next, remember, this year we're focusing and we're going to continue to follow behind Dr. Walters, who his focus is on reading, and he believes that if you can't read, things can be very difficult. So we constantly are pushing and supporting that, and we always have our partners. We have two of our wonderful partners, and we have a representative from each, and we're asking if they would come to the microphone there and say a few words. We're a representative from RIF, which is Reading is Fundamental. Take a moment, please, my friend Kyle, if you can. And then right with him is, where's our friend from Carnegie Library? They're our hang partner. They here today? Okay. Okay, good.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you, Mr. President and council members, for letting Reading is Fundamental Pittsburgh be a part of this amazing event. Our mission at RIF is to ensure that all kids in the Pittsburgh community have access to books and resources to motivate them to develop a love of reading. And in the past year, we provided almost 84,000 books on the north side, the south side, the Hill District, Faison, or Pittsburgh Faison is the school in Homewood that we serve, in Hazelwood and in Wilkinsburg. And my work specifically is in our mentoring program, RIF Everybody Wins, where we match volunteers to read for an hour a week with kids at Pittsburgh Faison in Homewood, at Pittsburgh Weil in the Hill District, and at Pittsburgh King on the north side, as well as Manchester Academic Charter School. So today, I would just like to reiterate the importance of having adults in kids' lives and the power that reading has to let kids learn more about themselves and learn more about the world. We like to say that books provide windows and mirrors for kids. They can see themselves reflected and their specialness and their importance shown on the page, while also learning about others in our community and around our world. So if you would be interested in reading for an hour a week with kids in one of our schools, we have over 200 mentors this year. I would love to serve more kids next year. You can visit our website, rifpittsburgh.org/mentoring, or you can come see me or my colleague Corey, and we'll give you a card. But thank you for letting us be part of this event, and thank you to everyone in this room for what you do to support the kids here in Pittsburgh.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. While Director Barker is preparing for the litany, and the litany, first of all, did we pass one out? We have someone from Carnegie Library?
Yes.
Carnegie?
Yes.
Hi, my name is John. I'll bring this down to me. I had something prepared, but I'm not going to say that. I just want to thank you for having us here. We launched Cart Fest so that every student has a library cart ready to use, so come on down. I work at Sheridan, so please, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Carnegie. Thank you. While Director Barker's preparing the litany, all the gentlemen, do you have one? A copy of the litany. Now, this is a litany. This is our public commitment to our children and to our families. But while he's preparing, and it is a call and response. There are 3 sections. Each individual will read, and then, of course, we will read the response. But I also want to take a second to tell you what's going to happen when we finish. Immediately when this is over, downstairs, outside, set up in the portico, is we have some tables, we have lunches, and I believe the T-shirts, if I'm not mistaken, will be there, okay? And we will also have our friends from AHN. Our focus is also men. You know, unless our arm is falling off, we don't go to the doctors, okay? And so we have someone down there checking all your vitals, your blood pressure, and your A1C and all that stuff. Make sure you go past that table. It takes maybe 10 minutes, okay, guys? And so we got to make sure that we take care of that. Also, is Ms. Gandy here, who is our liaison from the board. Every year we organize, the men that you see in blue shirts are part of the steering committee. We meet 6-7 times a year to put together a theme to focus on this event. And thanks to the administration and to you, Mr. President of the school board, we're always assigned a liaison. And this year, for the last 3 years, we've had Erica Gandy. Ms. Gandy, I know you're running around. If you can just stand and just wave your hand, that's all. We just want to say thank you. There she is over there. We just want to say thank you. And when you go, you will see Ms. Gandy. I think she'll have some tickets. You can get a ticket. We're going to be raffling off. I think it's a basket of sporting Pittsburgh's a signed football from the Steelers. From the Steelers?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Gandy, put them tickets aside, all right? We'll talk. So make sure that you see her to get your name in there. Okay, so Dwayne, if you'll explain it to us and bring your speakers up, please.
All righty. So the presenters are going to read the presenter portion. When they're done, in unison, members, we'll try our best to stay on cue. We are going to be the ones to read the members piece. I would like for all 3 of the amazing men to come down and get us started with this litany that was actually written by Dr. Walters, the superintendent for Pittsburgh Public Schools.
Excuse me, Dwayne, if we can just give me a second before that. I have to apologize. I didn't know the Honorable Mayor was right here in the crowd. Please, Mayor, say some words. I know you got to run. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Yes, sir.
Before I begin, can we give Mark Brentley a round of applause for the number of years that he's done this program? I just first and foremost want to thank Mark for the hard work and dedication that he's put in every year to connect fathers to the public schools. I think it's amazing. And I'm going to tell you something, there's nothing like a father. There's nothing like a father. And I tell people this all the time, is that one of the greatest gifts in life is to be able to grow up with a father. As someone who grew up where my father wasn't in my life like that, I know how the importance of what it means to be a father in my children's life, particularly with my daughters. I can see the smiles on my daughters' faces every single day, knowing that they have a father that's there. And my son, just a role model, being a role model for my son. And so when I talk about being a father and the responsibility of being a father, there's no greater joy in my life as being one. And when I see all these men right here standing together talking about the support of our children, listen, we reduce homicides in this city with our children. If we continue to come together like this, if we continue to always put our children first, we will always continue to drop the homicide rate when it comes to our kids. So I want to thank Mark for having this, and I'm going to tell you it's beautiful to me. And I want to make sure I give him a shout out. It's not behind, but it's beside. Every great man is a great woman. And the day I see the AKAs here in support of Take Your Father to School, and I think that's amazing when you see that level of unity. And I just want to make sure I recognize them as I stand here, because at the end of the day, unity is what builds community. And for us to be here right now to talk about our children and how we play an active role in our children's life, I just want to say thank you to the AKAs. And Mark Brinley, keep doing what you're doing. God bless.
Thank you, Mayor. And you know, sometimes, Mayor, you got to holler sometimes. He was standing there all the time, and I wanted to get him in and out. So, but we appreciate you. Thank you so much. And we also recognize the AKAs. I understand their conference or a convention or a conference that they're having is going to be starting real soon tomorrow here in Pittsburgh. So we are honored again to those beautiful young ladies in the pink and green. That's how you can identify. Wait, let me just take a second. Can y'all just stand up? Because my wife would kill me if I don't. Please, you know, my wife's AKA. Please, would y'all just stand? Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the support. Okay, Director Barker. Yes, sir.
All right. Brother Mike, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get it started.
We dedicate the 2025 of a Take Your Father to School Day to the involvement of fathers and father figures in the education of their children and to the collaborative support of educators and other stakeholders. We rejoice that fathers and father figures, students, educators, and supporters are assembled under the banner of the Pittsburgh Public Schools Take a Father to School Day. We ask for guidance as we grow in our development concerning the importance and impact of fathers and father figures, and our need to embrace relationships and resources for the benefit of our children, and we love and cherish dearly. To the honor of our community and to all of those who share responsibility in raising our youth, to the administrators, teachers, parents, and community leaders who are responsible for the equality of education for our children.
We dedicate the 2025 Pittsburgh Public Schools Take a Father to School Day. To overcome the low levels of performance and the need for us to visualize, actualize, internalize, conceptualize, and realize that we are a critical piece in our child's physical, social, emotional, artistic, and cognitive development. We raise our collective voices with a sense of urgency to say, feel, believe, and show to all that we are here, we are proud, and we are committed.
To the call for new and extended independent initiatives in education, where fathers and father figures can regularly be seen, heard, and represented throughout the educational experience.
We pledge our commitment as fathers and father
At this time, we would like for the Chief of Staff, Lamar Blackwell, to come up and close us out, brother.
While the Chief of Staff is here and preparing, one thing we want to do just finally, we think it's important that we say our commitment to children, and we just was able to complete that. Secondly, we always end in our chair. So right after the Chief of Staff shares his comments, we're going to do our Father's chair, and then we'll see everyone downstairs.
Thank you, Mr. Barker. On behalf of Pittsburgh Public Schools, we would like to sincerely thank the City of Pittsburgh for officially declaring April 22nd, 2025, Take a Father to School Day in the City of Pittsburgh. This declaration is so much more than an allocation of representation for our school district. It is a reminder that fathers in the City of Pittsburgh, specifically in Pittsburgh Public Schools, do show up and are genuinely committed and invested in the academic achievement of our students. We thank the forefathers who were committed enough to displaying the fact that fathers are actually engaged in their child's lives. We thank the City of Pittsburgh for bringing light to a life-changing initiative, and most importantly, on behalf of Pittsburgh Public Schools, we want to thank all the fathers who consistently show up and have made this day possible for 27 years. I think that deserves a round of applause. On behalf of Pittsburgh Public Schools, I declare that Take a Father to School Day will live on forever. Thank you all.
Thank you, Chief of Staff Blackwell. We really appreciate it. Now, Mr. President, he's going to come and share some things, but before Mr. President come, I want to take a moment to say thank you to you and to members of council for opening the doors each and every year for us. We know it matters. We know it makes a difference, and we know when you go into our schools, we see men are volunteering in the PTAs, PTOs, PSCCs, and they're doing things. And so how do you do it? Just one step at a time. And so we appreciate you guys, members of council, for allowing us to come here. Mr. President.
Thank you. This will take all of 2 seconds, but we have to read the end of it so we can formally dedicate the 22nd. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby commend the thousands who participate and urge the entire Pittsburgh School District community to actively participate in this worthwhile event. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare April 22nd, 2025 to be Take a Father to School Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And in closing, we want to remember that we use this day as a kickoff to get folks excited. The next day, the most important day, is next month. Please try to make it available to make yourself available to one of the schools. And over the summer, we're focusing on reading. Spend the time in the libraries, take a child and read. Now we're going to close with our hands and our fists ball.
Before we close, I saw
Yes.
Councilman Warwick wants to give a comment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, I do. I want to thank everyone here so much for being here. Also, the women of Alpha Kappa Alpha. So just today, while you're all still here, because I know, so today we're celebrating Take a Father to School Day. We're celebrating the women of Alpha Kappa Alpha. We are celebrating Fair Housing Month, and we are celebrating National Community Development Week. And just for the folks in this room, I want briefly to acknowledge some mailers that came to many of your mailboxes over the Easter weekend. Campaigns are campaigns, politics is politics, so I'm not going to comment on that. However, the implication that 30 years of purposeful neglect and disinvestment in Black communities is the fault or legacy of our first Black mayor is appalling. Attacking the mayor's wife is appalling. saying that contracts that were awarded to 2 Black women-led organizations that went through the legal, fully vetted RFP process were somehow not transparent or somehow sweetheart deals feeds into the anti-Black, anti-inclusion, and anti-DEI rhetoric that we are seeing all over the country. It's shameful, and I am embarrassed, and I feel the need to apologize on behalf of our entire city government, to be quite frank. But I do want to say that given this room, all of you, you all work so hard. You all work so hard for the betterment of your communities. And I want you to know that Pittsburgh sees that. Despite of what's in the media, despite of nasty mailers like this, there are so many people around this city. We see that. We recognize that. And so I just want to thank you all so much for being here today and for all the amazing work that you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to prepare for our chair, but I got to tell you, Councilwoman, as young folks would say, I felt that. Thank you. All right, we're going to hold just our fist ball in the air to show our determination for educating our children and volunteering. And we're just going to say our cheer. When I say Pittsburgh, you say fathers. And each time you go louder. We do it 3 times. Pittsburgh! Fathers! Pittsburgh! Fathers! Pittsburgh! Fathers! Thank you, members of council. Thank you.
Can you guys get in closer together? Come up. You can come in front here.
I don't know, Daniel's supposed to tell us, not them. Yes, please.
Hey, Councilwoman, come with me, sis, please. Come with me. I appreciate you. So much. It's so nice.
Nobody move.
For y'all move, we would like to present to the first person who arrived a signed autograph ball number 51.
How are you? Is Eric still here or no? Is she out? I know, I did the same thing with down my sleeve.
It's on? All right. So they've already received 3 acknowledgments, but would the women of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated please come forward? As they come forward, I'll just give a brief remark. We're here to acknowledge the fact that they do have a regional conference that begins this week, but we also want to acknowledge the long history that the AKAs have both nationally and locally. And I will also tell you that I have a little bit of firsthand insight and knowledge to the planning of this conference and all the work that has gone into planning this conference. So I know it's going to be very excellent for all those that attend. I believe they're supposed to expect over 5,000 members to come into the city of Pittsburgh this week. Whereas Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, AKA, established on Wednesday, January 15th in 1908 at Howard University in Minor Hall, holds the distinction of being the oldest Greek letter organizations founded by African-American college-educated women. And whereas with a remarkable membership of over 365,000 women across 12 countries, AKA is celebrated as America's premier Greek letter organization for African-American women, fostering leadership, service, and sisterhood within communities worldwide. And whereas the Alpha Omega chapter of AKA, chartered in 1927, was proudly served the greater Pittsburgh area for nearly a century, demonstrating a commitment to excellence through various community initiatives, mentorship programs, and partnerships with local organizations, including Pittsburgh Public Schools, UPMC Mercy McGee, and the Greater Pittsburgh Food Bank. And whereas Gwendolyn Kirtley, Great Lakes Regional Director, leads the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated 94th Great Lakes Regional Conference, Greater Together, an artful tapestry of service and sisterhood in Pittsburgh at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center from April 24th through the 27th, 2025, gathering over 7,000 members from 99 chapters, celebrating 100 years of impactful service within the Great Lakes region. And whereas this momentous conference serves as a unique opportunity for personal and professional development for its participants, reinforcing the mission of AKA and cultivating a spirit of community engagement, leadership, and empowerment among its members. And whereas Danette, did I say that correctly? Okay. Whereas Danette Anthony Reed, the international president and CEO of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, exemplifies exemplary leadership and dedication to the sorority's foundational tenets, inspiring members to promote high scholastic and ethical standards, friendship, and service to community. And whereas the commitment of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated to initiatives that empower families, builds economic wealth, enhance the environment, advocate for social justice, and uplift the local community resonates deeply within the values of the city of Pittsburgh. And now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Thursday, April 24th to be Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated Day in the city of Pittsburgh. May we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations.
To President Lavelle and to City Council, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Tony Kendrick. I served as the 28th Great Lakes Regional Director right from Pittsburgh. I was excited. I'm here this morning to represent our Great Lakes Regional Director, Ms. Gwendolyn L. Kirkley, who represents over 7,000 women in the states of Michigan, Western New York, Ohio, West Virginia, and Western Pennsylvania. We're excited in about 48 hours, there'll be over 2,600 women and guests in their pink and green converging on our beautiful city. Our general chairman, Ms. Colleen McMullen, has worked hard. Our local president has supported it, Ms. Peggy Harris, and the ladies that you see before you. It is an honor that we will not only be wearing pink and green, but we will also be providing service to families in this local community. It is truly an honor and a privilege, President Lavelle, and I'd like to say your better half is also working hard too. Again, we thank you very much for this honor, and I will be presenting this to our regional director. Again, good morning and thank you.
Good morning, and thank you, President Lavelle and council assembled. It has just been an amazing year in our planning in preparation for the 94th Great Lakes Regional Conference here in my home city of Pittsburgh. We are delighted to, as our 28th Regional Director shared, to serve this community. That is something that we as women of Alpha, Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated do, is serve our community. Again, thank you, Council, thank you, President Lavelle, and thank you to all of our members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority who will be joining us this weekend in the city of Pittsburgh for our 94th Great Lakes Regional Conference. Good morning.
Good morning to the councilman and to the President Lavelle for inviting us for this important moment to launch a massive sea of pink and green, and as has been said, to showcase what we are really all about, which is service to our community and to the sisterhood. I am president of the local chapter of Alpha Alpha Omega, which was founded yesterday, was our chartering day, April 21st, 1927. And so in 2 years, we will have another proud moment here in this city to celebrate our centennial anniversary. And so on behalf of the members of the Pittsburgh chapter, and along with our regional past director as well as the general chairman, I thank you for this opportunity to welcome us, and we look forward to showcasing the wonderfulness of the city of Pittsburgh. Thank you.
I see you back there. Okay, thank you. We used to have tissues. I said, when we first got elected.
There's some tissue.
When we first got elected.
I don't know how long these have been in here, but
No, it's solid. Let's just use up a little bit more.
I got one more. Those here for National Community Development Week, will you please come forward?
These are all deals.
So first and foremost, I'll simply say on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh and all our residents, we're grateful for all the work that you all do day in and day out. So we just want to acknowledge that you're equally important to all the success that occurs within our city. So thank you. Whereas the week of April 21st through 25th, 2025 has been designated as National Community Development Week to celebrate the community development block grant programs. Whereas the CDBG programs provide annual funding and flexibility to local communities to provide decent, safe, and affordable housing, a suitable living environment, and economic opportunities to low and moderate income people. Whereas over the past 3 years, the city of Pittsburgh has received over $40.5 million in CDBG funds and has funded a variety of projects that have directly benefited our citizens and neighborhoods. Whereas for over 100 years, the Urban League has been providing vital community services such as housing, counseling, and employment training to Pittsburgh residents, including nearly 1,000 city residents directly benefiting from CDBG dollars over the last 3 years. And now therefore be it resolved that the city of Pittsburgh designates the week of April 21st through 25th as National Community Development Week in support of this valuable program that has made tremendous contributions to the viability of the housing stock, infrastructure, public services, and the economic well-being of our city. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh urges the United States Congress and the Trump administration to recognize the outstanding work being done locally and nationally with CDBG funding by supporting continued and increased funding for the program in fiscal year 2026. May we have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Kelly Russell. I'm the Assistant Director for this department. To just build on some of the councilman's words, or council president's words, National Community Development Week highlights the significance of HUD funding. The Community Development Department is grateful for organizations like the Urban League of Greater Pittsburgh and the countless other nonprofits that our City Council provides funding to. We want to say thank you and extend a thanks to the City Council. I know at times we harass or hound you for your public service or your public service grant decisions, but there's a reason why, so organizations like the Urban League and the other nonprofits can provide services on behalf of the city. Lastly, I would like to thank the community development team. Your efforts are what make this department great. You are what makes this department exceptional, and I thank you, and I want you to know you are all valued. And before I turn it over, a few years ago we were here. A member of our team, Richard Malik Morris had passed away. You know how they say there's 6 degrees of separation, but 3 in Pittsburgh? Malik came from great cloth. He had great parents, and I'm happy to say that his father, Richard Morris, is here to represent the Urban League today. So Richard, please take your seat.
Thank you. On behalf of the Urban League, we want to thank you for all the support that you have provided. That support allows us to advocate for people who are being evicted, people who are facing mortgage foreclosure, people who need a new chance in life, and most importantly, that it builds on the connective tissue of our community. We realize that we cannot do anything without being sure that we look out for each other. And these funds and these programs do that. So thank you. And also, my son worked in this department. It was a blessing to him and a joy to his family because his colleagues have shown him love and have honored his memory. So thank you very much.
And Councilwoman Gross.
Oh, thank you. It's a momentous week in the city of Pittsburgh. We have lots to celebrate. Can I have everyone from Fair Housing up for Fair Housing Month? Appreciate it. We have so much good work and so many important issues in front of council, all at the same time, especially in this time, I think, nationally, where we are kind of feeling, I think, our responsibility as local governments to doing what we, is our jurisdiction and our responsibility to do in the jurisdictions that we represent. So this is one that we give annually, but it's really important to remind us of the importance of these issues as we work through them. Whereas April 11th, 2025 marks the 57th anniversary of the passage of the U.S. Fair Housing Act, Title 8 of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, which as amended pronounces a national policy mandating fair housing opportunities for all citizens regardless of race, color, religion, sex, national origin, disability, or familial status. And whereas on December 16th, 1958, Mayor David Lawrence signed the Fair Housing Practices Ordinance into effect, which as amended additionally prohibits discrimination in housing on the basis of ancestry, gender identity, gender expression, place of birth, sexual orientation, status as a survivor of domestic violence, citizenship or immigration status, preferred language or hairstyle. Whereas illegal barriers to equal opportunity in housing, whether subtle or blatant, diminish the rights of all and violate our community's shared and deeply held values of equality and dignity for all. Whereas the city, through its mayor, council, commissions, departments, and authorities, still works towards achieving the recommendations of the Affirmatively Furthering Fair Housing Task Force and ending housing inequity for its citizens. Whereas the international community in 2022 and 2023 issued recommendations to public officials in the U.S. calling for improved efforts to address systemic discrimination that perpetuates poverty and homelessness and disproportionately harms racialized and other vulnerable populations. Whereas the city, through its mayor and council, reaffirmed the commitment to ensuring housing as a human right through its policy, implementation, and enforcement. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh encourages all agencies, institutions, and individuals, public and private, in the City of Pittsburgh to abide by the letter and the spirit of the Fair Housing Law in pursuit of expanding opportunities and improving the quality of life for all. Be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh commits to make every effort to support the citizens of Pittsburgh and the departments, boards, offices, and authorities of the City of Pittsburgh in their fight to end discrimination in housing and affirmatively further fair housing. Be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby proclaim April 2025 as Fair Housing Month in the City of Pittsburgh.
May we have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I will turn it over to our leaders. Thank you. Appreciate it. And there's their proclamation.
It's upside down. Good morning. We are still morning. Yes. Thank you all for hanging out. We really appreciate the opportunity to come before council every year and commemorate Fair Housing Month. It is more important than ever, considering the state of fair housing across the country. We don't take for granted that we as a commission are still in good standing and able to do the work that we do every day because you all put your faith in us to do that. So thank you. And with me today, I have our commission staff. I want to thank them as well because they come to the table every day ready to fight for fair housing. It's not just a month, it's not just a day, it's every day with my staff. So I just thank you for the work that you do. Housing is a human right. We hear that a lot these days, but what do we mean when we say that? What comes after the slogan? Yes, stable housing is the most important prerequisite for us to thrive and build a decent life. But deeper than that, housing is one of our most basic survival needs. The things that we all need to survive aren't conveniences, they aren't gifts, they're essentials. Controlling access to housing is a powerful tool to keep people away from opportunity. Mayor David L. Lawrence understood this when, in 1958, he signed the Fair Housing Practices Ordinance for the city of Pittsburgh and entrusted the Human Relations Commission with enforcing those practices. President Johnson understood this 10 years later when he signed the Civil Rights Act of 1968. And this is still understood today by those in Washington, in Harrisburg, and here in the city who want to frustrate the mission of fair housing advocates and end equal access to housing. President Johnson's signature on the Fair Housing Act capped a decade of work from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It was signed into law 1 week after Dr. King's death, and the demonstrations ensued. We should be reminded of the high price paid for equality and fairness in housing. And in a way, we are reminded of that now. Today, we stand against efforts unseen for decades to attack and undermine basic fair housing rights. We choose to stand with those who came before, who fought, suffered, and yes, died to establish the right of fair housing, regardless of race, religion, sex, sexual orientation, or any other circumstance that is beyond their control. Today is a reminder of our commitment. And so I thank City Council and Mayor Gainey for your dedication, for your recognition, and for having us here today. Thank you. Yeah, so we've got with us today our Deputy Director, Christopher Solt, a Senior Investigator, Lauren Law, Senior Investigator, David Elwood, and Senior Investigator, Rita Porterfield.
Absolutely, all members. And last but certainly not least, Councilman Mosley.
Oh, yeah, that's the next one, sorry.
Can Mr. Cooper and your guests can come up as well. This proclamation is a real treat. You know, I grew up, hearing many stories about the great Chuck Cooper in my household. My father served in the Navy in California with Mr. Cooper, as well as played a lot of basketball with Mr. Cooper when they both came back to Pittsburgh, when Mr. Cooper went to attend Duquesne University. My father was at the University of Pittsburgh, and obviously Mr. Cooper had the best team. I think he played for the Center Avenue Y. My dad played for the Collegians. This was back in the early 50s. So when me and Mr. Cooper got to meet about 2 years ago, it was really a treat, because it was almost like we grew up together, even though we had never met, because my father shares so many stories. And thank you so much for setting up the interview with the National Basketball Association when they came to town a few months ago and allowed my father to share his personal stories of the time that he spent with Mr. Cooper, and then allowed me to talk about the kind of historical significance of Mr. Cooper and what he means to the city of Pittsburgh and what he means to the game of basketball. And I look at this as today is really the beginning of a year-long celebration to the great milestone that began 75 years ago on Friday. So I will begin. Whereas Charles Henry Cooper, born September 29th, 1926, to Daniel and Emma Cooper in Pittsburgh, PA, Charles, affectionately known as Chuck, was a proud graduate of Westinghouse High School, class of 1944. After graduation, Chuck briefly played a semester of college basketball at West Virginia State College, now university, before his service in the U.S. Navy during World War II. And whereas after serving in the U.S. Navy, Mr. Cooper enrolled at Duquesne University, where he started all 4 years and set the school record for total points of 990 points in one season. Mr. Cooper's team had a 78-19 record and was invited to the then prestigious National Invitation Tournament twice. And whereas on April 25th, 1950, Mr. Cooper became the first African American ever drafted into the National Basketball Association and was drafted by the Boston Celtics, led by owner Walter Brown and coached by the legendary Red Auerbach, and was the teammate of the great Bob Cousy, among many others. Mr. Cooper played a total of 409 NBA games, scoring 2,725 points, 2,431 rebounds, and 733 assists. And very recently, and long overdue, Mr. Cooper was enshrined in the National Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby recognize and congratulate Charles Chuck Cooper for his commitment to community, serving his country, shattering racial barriers, as well as barriers here in the city of Pittsburgh, because after his basketball career, he worked in the banking industry locally as an executive and was the first director of a city department in the history of City of Pittsburgh government, as the first African-American director of Parks and Rec, and was the first African-American department head. So again, his trailblazing history goes far beyond the hard court into the halls of corporate America as well as city government. So be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Friday, April 25th, 2025 to be Charles Chuck Cooper Day in the city of Pittsburgh.
May we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Sure would. My honor. Thank you so much. To have a day recognized in my father's honor is just a tremendous accomplishment. And I just can't thank Councilman Mosley enough for not only his great work and leadership in the city of Pittsburgh, but he's a big supporter of the Chuck Cooper Foundation. And Council President Lavelle, we have a history as well. The house that I grew up in was purchased from Lavelle Real Estate, his family's business back in the day. So I heard his name a lot in my household. And then to be connected to this council body. It was back in 1970 when my father became the first black city department director. It needed approval of city council. So I feel connected to each and every one of you, and thank you for your hard work. Public officials don't get as much credit as you deserve for what you put in. It's a sacrifice to not only you, but to your family. So I thank you all for your hard work and dedication. It was 1950, April 25th, in a smoke-filled room in Chicago, Illinois. It was Boston turn to pick. It was in the second round, but it was the 13th overall pick. And Walter Brown, the owner of the Celtics, stood up and said, Boston takes Chuck Cooper, the All-American out of Duquesne University. And when the owner said, you can't take him, he's colored. I think he used a different word, but at least that's how it's reported today. And Walter Brown said, I don't give a damn if he's straight, polka dot or plaid, Boston takes Chuck Cooper. And the rest was history. And he went on and had a great rookie season with the Boston Celtics, made the all-rookie team, was in contention for Rookie of the Year, and really enjoyed his time in Boston. Came back to Pittsburgh, like Councilman Mosley said, continued to break barriers in city government and also at Pittsburgh National Bank. But back in those days, it wasn't easy. He actually only stayed in his department as Director of Parks and Recreation for a little over a year. That was reported in the Pittsburgh paper. They asked him why to resign. He said, listen, I've been the first on a few occasions, but never once have I been a token, and I won't start now. But one thing he did accomplish was he had East Hills Park, which is probably one of the most beautiful community parks finished and built up in East Hills. So he was very proud of that because the kids up there didn't have anywhere to play. So I'm really honored to be able to continue to push his legacy forward through the work of the Chuck Cooper Foundation. I started that organization back in 2013. Since then, we've awarded $400,000 in scholarships, and we outreach to thousands of kids to our Beacons of Light outreach program. That too has been a sacrifice. I thank my beautiful, lovely wife, Shelley Cooper, for being here. I'll never forget, I got laid off in the pharmaceutical industry. She said, what are you going to do now? You going to go to a competitor? I said, no, I think I'm going to start a foundation from scratch. So I don't know how we made it, but we got through. But again, it truly is an honor and a pleasure to be here and to be able to work with young people, elevate my father's name. And just a couple quick things that you might not be aware of. Councilman Mosey said he got inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2019. Right now, Duquesne University, there's actually 2 buildings on campus named in his honor. UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse that you might have heard about, but if you go to the Mary Lemieux statue, Caddy Corner is the Chuck Cooper building. And also, if you're in the NBA or you're in the Western Conference and you win the Pacific Division Championship, you get a beautiful Chuck Cooper trophy. So I couldn't have done it without some tremendous professionals who helped me grow and develop the Chuck Cooper Foundation. People like Tom Rooney, Zach Thomas, Matt Mead, Bob Durda. I could go on and on, but I couldn't do it without their tremendous support. A law firm, Buchanan Ingersoll Rooney, were tremendous supporters, but I can go on and on. But we get tremendous amount of corporate support. I got to shout out UPMC and UPMC Health Plan, Highmark, and many others. So I really want to thank you again for this incredible recognition and wish you all the best. Thank you so much. I got a couple jerseys if we could bring them up for a photo op.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
All right, I'd love to take a picture with a Chuck Cooper jersey.
Yeah, if members could come up as well.
I would love to have them come up. Anybody go to Duquesne?
This guy.
Yeah.
How you doing? Any Duquesne graduates? I got a couple jerseys if we can, if you guys don't mind, we can, Councilman Mosley gets this one. Hold that one up. One more, Duquesne. Somebody else.
Chuck.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I remember you.
Yeah, like recreational, it's like college teams. They play together. It was like a huge recreational. This is like
And we have 3 to be read into the record.
Councilman Wilson presents, now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby recognize and officially celebrate Arbor Day on April 26, 2025, here in the City of Pittsburgh, and does commend Allegheny Commons Park's designation as an arboretum that will protect and preserve its rich and valuable ecosystem. Councilman Wilson also presents, be it further resolved, that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh hereby declares Saturday, April 26, 2025, to be Steel City Duck Derby Day here in the City of Pittsburgh. And Councilperson Erica Strasburger presents, be it further resolved, that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare April 26, 2025, to be the Western Pennsylvania Unit of the Herb Society of America Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
And we have a motion to approve all 3?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Our proclamations have been approved. Our next order of business is public comment. I would like to remind everyone that the rules of council state The comments are limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation which may be before City Council. Profanity is not permitted. Once you are called, please restate your name, provide your neighborhood for the record. You'll be given 3 minutes to speak. Our first registered speaker is Larry Westone. Is there a Larry Westone online? There is not. Our next speaker is Dr. Ronald L. Miller.
Dr. Ronald N. Miller, Squirrel Hill and Carrick, Al-Quds, Palestine, Yerushalayim, Israel, University of Oxford, and the University of Pittsburgh educated. I taught modern Israel at the University of Pittsburgh, and I joined the American Academy of Religion in the early 2000s. I'm the Global Intelligence Society candidate for President 2028, Global Information Intelligence Network.net. RLM 2028 Initiative 3, No Party Local, and national law formation using the DPRP ideology, but preferring the best information at the highest level of intelligence and subordinating religion in that. This is inconsistent with the Pittsburgh City Council use of the ideologies of the religions of Christianity and Judaism in its proclamations and its ceremonies. A corrective. The Quran, Surah 37:99-104, describes the binding of an unnamed son of Ibrahim, who is named Ishmael by Muhammad, and the dominant Islamic tradition, and is commemorated in Eid al-Adha. The Torah, Toledoth, Genesis 22, names Isaac. RLM, University of Pittsburgh PhD colloquium, assisted by the work of Beno Jacob. So the dominant tradition, the Islamic tradition, is that Arabs descended from Ibrahim via Ishmael, and the dominant Judaistic tradition is that Jews descended from Abraham via Isaac. Abraham descended from Noah through his sons Shem, so the Arabs are Shemites, Semites, and Jews are Semites. So there's Arabic Semitism and Jewish Semitism, and as a corollary, bias against Arabs is anti-Arabic anti-Semitism, and bias against Jews, anti-Jewish anti-Semitism. The exclusion of anti-Arabic anti-Semitism from anti-Semitism as a category, which KDKA, WTA, and WPXI do, is anti-Semitism. It is also anti-Semitism in the Arabic sense of the word, to murder children, and that's what the Israeli military are doing. And this is all slime. We have an anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic episode, DP versus DP competition for mayor, in an anti-O'Connor ad provided by KDKA, 14 April 2015. Mr. O'Connor identifies as a Jewish American, and he gets support from the real estate people, and the ad pillories that, saying that there's an exclusion if you are then therefore opposed to affordable housing. Who is behind this? George Lincoln Rockwell.
Thank you very much. Has Larry Westone joined us? Please restate your name, provide your neighborhood for the record. You'll be given 3 minutes to speak.
Giving honor to God and to the members of council and all present, my name is Larry Whetstone, and I come before you in the name of God and based upon the justice in which he established for the law from the beginning, okay? This is what he did also with the civil rights movement, leading Dr. Martin Luther King to get everybody to get treated rightfully. Now, I'm coming because of the fact that our system has never been right. It still isn't right, okay? And I should be able to access my government because the government was established to protect, okay, all my rights, not just some of them, but all of my rights. My rights have been violated seriously, and I'm asking the government to step up. And what I mean by that, I don't expect you to do nothing for me legally, but I expect you to get me to the right particular department or section that will not have this stuff continue to go on, okay? My right, the rights that have been violated is my protected right of the Workers' Compensation Act, okay? I was in an accident, okay, at the age of 58, okay? I did everything right, but the company ignored me and fired me illegally, okay? They've been trying to cover it up with some systemic, structural, corrupted process. And I'm here to actually fight against it. I'm going to continue to fight against it. The fact of the matter is that another right that has been violated is my ADA right and my ADEA right, okay? Title 18 has been violated, Section 241, 242. It's criminal. I've been trying to file a criminal complaint with this, and everybody's been ignoring me. Just like the lady said, there's people who died for our rights, okay? And it needs to be taken care of. I'm here, I would like to speak with, eventually after this is over with, Councilman Mosley, because what happened is Josh Shapiro has established commissions, okay, so that our voices can be heard. I need to speak with Josh Shapiro. This is ridiculous. The attorneys that represented me housed a conflict of interest. The attorney that represented me works for an insurance company. He did not disclose that information to me. He has a mentality to save as much money as possible, and his standard of care shows that when you look at my situation. So I don't have all of my evidence presented today because I figured I was only going to get 3 minutes. So I just come here to speak with you. And like I said, before I leave, I'd like to speak with Councilmember Mosley in order so he can tell me how I can further get a hold of Josh Shapiro or any of my state representatives. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That exhausts our list of registered speakers. If there's anyone in chambers wishing to speak, please come forward at this time. Also provide your name and neighborhood for the record.
Hi, I'm Bernadette from Beachview. I saw those flyers that came out and I was disgusted with it. I did the research a couple weeks ago, and the backers of Corey O'Connor, as I had stated before, spend a lot, too much time in and out of court. I also researched the developers that have backed Mayor Gainey. The typical docket entries are no lien agreements, which is very common if you're a contractor. That's what you expect. Nothing that would jump out at anybody going through the dockets. Now these attacks, yes, attacks on people who Mayor Gainey may know or his wife may know, or females or anything of that nature, kudos to him. That means he's hiring or he knows reputable people that don't spend all their time in docket line at the county. There's a big difference. So what if it's all women? So what if they're friends of the mayor that are reputable and do good work and don't spend all their time in the docket entry line at the pathonetary's office? The mayor has done great things in this city. I look forward to this next debate. It seems like we're no longer Democratic and Republican. Now there's a third party in there. Trumpsters. And it's just a level that is disgusting. And still to this day, after I was called a NIMBY, because a lot of Corey's backers are under YIMBY, who has a 501, the Pittsburgh Pro Housing, there's 5013, I learned something new, and then there's a 5014. The fours they can add those little political things into there. But still, some of his door knockers are calling people online NIMBYs who don't agree with them. This is low level. Kudos to Mayor Gainey for having a clean, reputable, not a name calling, not throwing things at each other. Just a stand-up man. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
My name is Yvonne F. Brown, and I live at 715 Mercer Street up in the Hill District. I wanted to address you, Ms. Hardwick. You brought out about, it's supposed to be, I think, a picture like this for the housing. It's supposed to be that Mayor Gainey is not taking care of the community like he should. I came down because I saw a picture of where they have Mayor Gainey is black as coal, and they're saying about supposed to be money from the affordable housing. But I thought when Peduto and even when Luke left, there was questions about that money. Money was missing then. And then when they changed mayorship, there was actually trucks that were stolen. They disappeared. You didn't hear nothing about that. But now you all try to blame it on Gainey. I don't care for Gainey, but the truth is this. If you're going to tell the truth, that's what you do. Don't make it like he's such a sinister man. They made him real black. That's supposed to be put fear in you when you're black. Fear. That's what they did with his picture. I know what they're doing. I've seen it. I went to college. I studied psychology. I may get up here and you may think that I don't know, but I do know a lot. I went to college. Anytime they had something that was a free class I went to, I want to know. I want to know what's happening in the world. I want to be treated the same as everybody else. I want to make sure that I get what you get. And my children, my grandchildren get the same. I have lived, in July, I will be 79 years old. I have lived a long time. I have come down here over 20-something years. I have watched this. I have learned your ways. I have seen you while I'm talking, and anybody else, you're talking amongst yourself. You're on the phone. You're on the computer. The young white girl, when she came up, she was a little the same as I am. She came up, she said, I wasn't gonna speak. She said, but I watched you. And she was angry. She said, these people come down to speak and you're on your phone, you're on your computers, you're on this, you're on that. Do you understand that this woman, this young child, I can't say young child, she's like she's about 17 or 18, but she knows what our civil duty is. Our civil duty is to tell you what we need. You can't know if you don't live in my neighborhood. You can't know that we don't have transportation to get down to the bottom of the hill to the hospital. But when we have a meeting about the police, Miss Gross and Perdue make the decision that we got to go to Lawrenceville, 2 buses to be able to speak what we want to say. But we can take 1 bus to go right down here. But to speak, we got to come to her neighborhood.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Brown. Next speaker, please.
Good morning. David Tessitore, Banksville. 35 years ago to this morning, an event kicked off at Point State Park with Native American ceremony at daybreak. By the end of the day, we were told 75,000 people had come to the 20th anniversary of Earth Day. And this being Earth Day, I made sure I came to speak. In the years, I should point out that I was one of the organizers. There were 60 members of the coalition. My organization that I was the executive director of at the time was in charge of all the children's programming. We sought to call attention to the earth, celebrate what we had. In the years since then, I have fought most of my time trying to challenge the primary threat to both the city and the natural environment, and that is real estate speculation. A few years after that, we were told that Southwestern Pennsylvania had the third highest rate of land consumption in the country with a continuing decline of population. And that was from suburban sprawl. The number one existential threat to this city is real estate speculation. Now, we've had comment about the mayoral race and the funding being by a lot of real estate speculators, but it goes back a long ways, back to the 1980s, when the airport area was designated to be the new central business district. Want to know why the city has been going down? Because many of your predecessors, and maybe some of yourselves, have made decisions which have enabled that to happen. And it's continuing. Evidently, they aren't quite satisfied, so they're dumping lots of money into this mayoral race. But we have seen, this city is the furthest away from its airport, I think, of any of the major cities. And I think of the major metropolitan areas, we're the only one not connected with rail. And yet, that's supposed to be the new downtown. So what we have seen happen, I saw it back in the 80s when Volkwines moved out. I said, I see what's happening. So I do hope, and I hope to come before you to address more on this issue, but real estate speculation, and the voters will have a chance to speak about that themselves, is the number one existential threat to this city. I thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. Next speaker, please. Seeing no further speakers, we'll turn to the presentation of papers, beginning with Councilman Sharlin, Chair of Human Resources. Thank you. Councilman Coghill, Chair of Public Safety and Wellness.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Gross, Chair of Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology.
Mr. President.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill Number 1746, Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreements and/or amendments with Live Barn and/or with Team Pittsburgh Ball Hockey for the purpose of Team Pittsburgh live streaming deck hockey games held at the deck hockey rink in Marmaduke Park at no cost to the city.
Councilwoman Gross.
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to offer a motion to waive Rule 8 so this bill can appear on tomorrow's Standing Committee agenda.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Bill 1746 will be on tomorrow's Standing Committee agenda. That takes us to Councilman Mosley, Chair of Intergovernmental Educational Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Mosley presents Bill Number 1747, Resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewage facilities plan for 7415 Hermitage Street at no cost to the city.
And Councilwoman Kell Smith, Chair of Recreation, Youth, and Senior Services.
No new papers, Mr. President. I'm holding mine.
Okay.
Sorry.
And Councilwoman Strasburger, Chair of Finance and Law.
It's my own. It's mine.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilperson Strasburger presents Bill Number 1748, Resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of the new Pittsburgh Courier, doing business as Real Times, Inc., for legal advertisements published on February 5, 2025, in connection with the City of Pittsburgh quiet title actions for an amount not to exceed $6,158.30, and Bill Number 1749, Resolution authorizing 11 open-end professional service agreements with 5 vendors to provide professional services on an on-call basis as required related to special event services as needed by the various departments of the City of Pittsburgh, each agreement being at an amount not to exceed $750,000 annually for a 3-year term and providing for funding of the cost thereof.
And Councilwoman Warwick, Chair of Public Works and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilwoman Warwick presents Bill Number 1750, Resolution authorizing the directors of the Departments of Finance and Mobility and Infrastructure to take actions necessary for recordation of temporary construction easements over certain city-owned parcels in order to advance a project for rehabilitation, reconstruction, and repair of the Smithfield Street in the city of Pittsburgh at no cost to the city. Bill 1751. Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Works and/or the director of the Department of Finance to enter into an agreements, and/or amendments with Riverlight for the purpose of allowing access to the Riverlight barge from the Allegheny Landing Dock at no cost to the city. Bill 1770, ordinance supplementing the Pittsburgh Code Title VI, Conduct, Article 1, Regulated Rights and Actions, Chapter 609, Weeds and Grass, by creating a new section 60908, Managed Natural Landscapes, to allow for the planting and maintenance of managed natural landscapes by residents. And Bill number 1771, ordinance amending the Pittsburgh City Code, Title 10, Building, Chapter 1004, International Property Maintenance Code Adoption, Section 100402, changes specified to allow for the planting and maintenance of managed natural landscapes by residents.
And Councilman Wilson, Chair of Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
And thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill number 1752, resolution providing for the designation as a historic structure under Title 11 of the Code of Ordinances that certain structure known as Donnie's Place, located at 1226 Heron Avenue in the Polish Hill neighborhood in the 5th Ward, City of Pittsburgh. The owner of the property does not support the nomination, and there is no cost to the city. And Bill number 1753, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of City Planning to enter into an agreements, and/or amendments with the Museum of Contemporary Art for the purpose of loaning the city-owned Stephen Foster statue to MoCA at no cost to the city.
And I have 8 papers. If we begin with the appointments.
Council President Lavelle presents Bill number 1754, resolution appointment of Audra Mitchell as a member of the Gender Equity Commission with the term to expire April 1st, 2028. Bill 1755, resolution appointment of Terry Minor Spencer as a member of the Gender Equity Commission with the term to expire April 1st, 2028. Bill number 1756, resolution appointment of Nicole Turney as a member of the Gender Equity Commission with the term to expire April 1st, 2028. And Bill number 1757, resolution appointment of Crystal Wamala as a member of the Gender Equity Commission with the term to expire April 1st, 2028.
We need a motion to interview or to approve.
Motion to interview.
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? We'll just get all the interviews scheduled.
It's going to be brutal.
Next, we have 3 communications.
Bill number 1758, communication from Jake Pollack, Director of Office of Management and Budget, submitting City Council the attached status update from the Grants Office for the week ended April 18, 2025. Bill number 1759, communication from Rachel Heisler, City Controller, submitting a summary worksheet highlighting premium pay budget use in the first quarter of 2025, dated April 11, 2025. And Bill number 1760, communication from Jake Pollack, Director of the Office of Management and Budget, submitting acting pay requests on behalf of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure for Zachary Workman and Michael Panzita per the acting pay policy revised in June 2018.
We need a motion to read, receive, and file.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And then we have 1 sponsored bill.
And Bill number 1772, resolution amending and supplementing the rules of council to provide for the contingent presiding officers over regular meetings of council in the event of absences.
Thank you very much. That will now move us on to reports for committee for final action, beginning with Councilwoman Erica Strasburger, presenting the Committee of Finance and Law.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilperson Strasburger presents Bill number 1740, reported to Committee on Finance and Law for April 16, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1634, resolution repealing an item in Resolution number 512 of 2022, effective date September 23, 2022, in order to rescind the sale. Bill 1709, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of Angelina Prior and her attorneys, Contos, Minjean, Killian, and Hassan, for a single payment in 2025 in an amount not to exceed $80,000 in full and final settlement of litigation filed in the Allegheny County Court of Common Pleas. Bill 1710, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of Gladys Sanchez in an amount not to exceed $8,301.36 over 1 year in full and final settlement of a claim for damage to her vehicle from an accident with a city police vehicle on December 17, 2024. Bill 1711, resolution authorizing the execution of quitclaim deeds conveying all of the city's right, title, and interests in into the city-owned properties located in the 12th Ward of the city and designated in the Deed Registry Office of Allegheny County as Block and Lot 124N 282, 283, 288, 290, 291, 292, 293, 124P 96, 125B, 128, 129, 130, 131, 132, 134 to Larmer Consensus Group through the Pittsburgh Land Bank for consideration set forth herein relating to the full and final settlement of cases filed in the Allegheny County Court of Common Pleas.
You have heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? If none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland. Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Kill-Smith.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill, having received the legal required number of votes, is passed finally. That takes us to Councilman Anthony Coghill, presenting the Committee of Public Safety and Wellness.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Coghill presents Bill number 1741, reported to Committee on Public Safety and Wellness for April 16, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1703, resolution authorizing the mayor, the director of the Office of Management and Budget, and the director of the Department of Public Safety to enter into an agreement or agreements with the County of Allegheny for the purpose of receiving grant funds from the 2023 National Sexual Assault Kit Initiative Grant in an amount not to exceed $37,000 to support overtime for PBP detectives for the investigation of old sexual assault cases, the purchasing of materials to properly furnish a soft interview room for the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police, and participation in approved training opportunities.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland. Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Kill-Smith.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill, having received the legal required number of votes, is passed finally. That takes us to Councilwoman Barbara Ward, presenting the Committee of Public Works and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilwoman Warwick presents Bill number 1742, reported to Committee on Public Works and Infrastructure for April 16, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1712, resolution authorizing the mayor, the director of the Office of Management and Budget, and the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure to apply for grant funding from the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources Community Conservation Partnerships Program to provide funding for the rehabilitation of Emerald View Trail Project. The grant proposal includes an ask of $250,000 with a match of $250,844.42 from the City of Pittsburgh's capital budget for a total project cost of $500,844.42 for this stated purpose.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill, vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland. Aye. Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Kill-Smith.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill, having received the required number of votes, is passed finally, and that takes us to Councilman Bobby Wilson, presenting the Committee of Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill number 1743, reported to Committee on Land Use and Economic Development for April 16, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1738, ordinance amending the Pittsburgh Code of Ordinances, Title 5, Traffic, Article 7, Parking, Chapter 549, Residential Parking Permit Program to clarify the regulations for posting of signage. Bill 1739, resolution amending Resolution 98 of 2017, providing for the implementation of a residential permit parking program, Area KK, in the South Side Flats to expand the streets pursuant to Pittsburgh City Code Chapter 549.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill, while aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland. Aye. Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Kill-Smith.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill, having received the required number of votes, is passed finally. Councilwoman Gross?
Yes, Mr. President, do you mind if I register aye votes for the remaining bills? Thank you.
Thank you. This moves us to Councilwoman Teresa Cale Smith, presenting the Committee of Recreation, Youth, and Senior Services.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Kell-Smith presents Bill number 1744, reported to Committee on Recreation, Youth, and Senior Services for April 16, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1707, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of Parks and Recreation to enter into a sponsorship agreement with Dollar Bank for Cinema in the Park at no cost to the city. And Bill number 1708, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of Parks and Recreation to enter into multiple sponsorship agreements enumerated herein for the Richard S. Caligari Great Race.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill, while aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland. Aye. Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Kill-Smith.
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill, having received the required number of votes, is passed finally. And finally, Councilman Kari Mosley, presenting the Committee of Intergovernmental Educational Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Mosley presents Bill number 1745, reported to Committee on Intergovernmental and Educational Affairs for April 16, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1704, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewage facilities plan for 296 McKee Place at no cost to the city. And Bill number 1705, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewage facilities plan for 215 South 21st Street at no cost to the city. Bill 1706, resolution approving and authorizing the mayor, the director of the Department of Finance, and the director of the Department of Public Works on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement or agreements with the Allegheny County Sanitary Authority to provide permanent easements for subterranean tunnels through 9 parcels of city-owned properties currently identified as Allegheny County parcel lots, and to accept payment therefore in the amount of $8,200.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill, vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charland. Aye. Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Mr. Mosley.
Aye.
Mrs. Kill-Smith.
Aye. Sorry. I was wondering why I had a bill in my
Mrs.
hand.
Strasburger. Aye. Mrs. Warwick.
So I forgot I held it.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President.
Aye.
9 ayes, 0 noes.
The bill, having received the legal required numbers of votes, is passed finally. That takes us to motions and resolutions. Anything from members? Councilwoman Smith and then Councilman Coghill.
Thank you. I just want to wish our colleague, Councilman Wilson, a speedy recovery from his surgery. But I also want to ask, Madam Clerk, when we have the appointees come forward for the interviews, please make sure that they all have their financial interest statements filled out in advance so that we have them and can look at them. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Coghill.
Thank you, Mr. President. In case you haven't heard, we had an instance where an ambulance was responding to a cardiac arrest. While they were there or on their way, I'm not quite sure how it transpired, but we had to dispatch another ambulance there because the ambulance broke down. So, and my point is, if you'll remember, I think 2 years ago, come May, 2 years ago, I had a post agenda on the entire fleet, specifically the entire fleet. But this has prompted me to want to call another post agenda, to schedule another post agenda, just really focused solely around public safety. I think we'll do it around EMS, fire, and police. We'll leave Public Works and the others out of it for now. But those three, because they're life-saving departments, and I'm truly, really concerned about the fleet overall. And I just want to hear from the directors again and see what the state is since 2 years ago. Being on the Equipment Leasing Authority Board, I can tell you it's not much better because we have not made the infusion of cash that we need there. But I just want to hear from them personally, and I know a lot of people are concerned about it. And when I hear stories like that, which happened, I believe, just a couple of days ago, it piques my concern. So with that, I'd like to schedule a post agenda around public safety, specifically EMS, police, and fire.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We'll work with the clerk to get that scheduled.
Thank you.
Anything else from
Council
members?
President.
Yes, Councilman Wilson.
Sorry, I can't raise my hand in the virtual option, but thanks for calling me. I wanted to just recognize Councilwoman Cal Smith. Thanks for the speedy recovery note. Much appreciated. Everything's going well. And just so the public knows, it's non-life-threatening to the public. So, but it is something I just want to take care of for my health. So thank you, everyone. I just wanted to also thank Councilmember Coghill, because I appreciate his leadership in terms of the attention to public safety as public safety chair and calling for this post agenda. I'm hoping we can have this sooner or later, given the circumstances that, what you just heard from him, hopefully sometime next week we can get this scheduled. I believe it's more of an emergency than anything else. I mean, it's about time we have this conversation out in the open. We had it at the budget hearing, but it deserves another look behind the curtain here, because when ambulances are breaking down on the way to call something that's seriously wrong, that's just not bad luck. That's the lack of investment in basically the basics. So, I believe in our EMS crews. They're out there doing their jobs, giving everything they got. The least we can do is give them the equipment that works. If you drive a truck for a living, like my dad did, you need that truck to run. So same goes for ambulances. We've kicked this can down the road, far enough about replacing these rigs. So looking forward to catching up on this conversation, and the public's the one that's going to pay the price in the end if we don't fix it. So I'm backing this post agenda because I believe we owe it to the people who call 911 and the professionals who show up to help. So looking forward to not stop patching things up, and let's start fixing them right. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other member? If not, we do have meeting announcements. This afternoon at 1:30, Council will hold a cablecast post agenda on Pittsburgh Water's flood mitigation projects, chaired by Councilwoman Warwick. Tomorrow, Wednesday, April 22nd at 10, we'll hold our council meeting, our regular standing committee meeting. Speaker registration will close at 9 a.m. Also, Wednesday, April 23rd at 2 p.m., council will hold a cablecast public hearing on Bill 1579 regarding reduced required minimum lot sizes. Speaker registration will close at 12:30 on Wednesday. To register to speak at these meetings, please fill out the sign-up form on the council meeting webpage or call the clerk's office 412-255-2138. Councilman Warwick.
Yeah, just really quickly, I wanted to congratulate Councilwoman Smith. I'm sorry that we did not make it to the Easter egg event. Yeah, we had a community cleanup, that had to be at, of course, in Hazelwood. But I know it's a great event and something you're very proud of. And I saw the pictures and it looked amazing. So
thank you. It's actually our last one.
Yeah,
So,
that's the way I wanted to
Congratulations.
mention it.
Thank you. My staff's happy.
And happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.
Oh,
Councilman
yeah.
Coghill.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that. It was sensational as usual. It's unbelievable the crowd you get there, and the kids are all so happy. And let me just say this: if there's any, if there's anybody wondering what should we do with or without our motorcycle unit in the Pittsburgh Police, there were a line of about 100 kids trying to get on for your commander, my commander, Commander Ripple. I think that's the best PR piece of it that we have in the Pittsburgh Police Department. It really is. The kids, and honest to God, some of them didn't even get a ride, I think, because the line was so long. So, but what a great event. Always a pleasure to be a part of. Nothing but smiling faces and kids. It's all about the kids, and they were just thrilled, and the parents were thrilled too. And a lot of them were thanking me, even though I had nothing to do with it. So I did take credit, though. So.
He did. On the way out, he said, "You're welcome." Can I just say real quickly about Commander Ripple? Do you mind?
Sure.
I just want to say he stayed on that bike for over 3 hours, making sure every kid got a ride. He got off; he could barely walk. But his wife was there, and she's also a nurse practitioner, and a child had fainted, and she had taken care of him as well. So they were really a great asset to the event. But I want to thank all the City of Pittsburgh employees and Public Works, police, fire, EMS, everyone that came out and helped us, and the park rangers. There's just so many people that come together for this event. Honestly, it looked like a political event at first. I was getting kind of worried. I'm thinking, there were so many people there. But then the kids came, and that's the part I'm good at, getting the kids to come out. So for that part, I'm really thankful that the parents had a good time. I'm grateful that the weather was good and that everybody went home safe and had fun. So, and thank you to my staff for organizing for so many years. I do want to thank Wanda Spencer, who was actually the first person in my office to organize it for probably about a decade. And she retired, so now it was up to Lori, who was like pretty much working on her own.
She's not going to miss the event, is she?
She's not going to miss it. So I just want to thank you, but thank you, everyone. Thank you, Councilman Coghill, for attending.
All right, with that, motion to approve the minutes and adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.